of Protea Financial, episode 50, our third last episode in the series that is Protea Weekly. And here we are today. I'm a little bit later than I would normally like to go live. It's 10:11 on November 19th. But I was just recording an episode of Protea Conversations. Protea Conversations is our leadership podcast where we interview professionals with a main focus on accountants to learn about their career and learn some lessons on how they found success. And I was super excited for today's guest when I was sort of doing the research. And honestly, such an inspiring conversation that I just had. I feel really motivated to go out there and change the world. Just absolutely incredible. Most likely going to release on December 5th. So if you're not already following, go find Protea Conversations on YouTube or Spotify, or go to our website to get the RSS link and follow it up and set a reminder for yourself to really listen to the episode of the Pull Seth that is coming out and the advice he has and his outlook towards accounting and technology. I think it's gonna light a fire in many of you, like it has for me. So go check it out. I think it's a great episode. This is where we're at the moment, right? I just spent some time at a wine industry conference. So, for a reminder, those who haven't listened before, we are accountants. We provide accounting services to people in the wine industry. So, I attended the Wine Business Monthly Wine Industry Financial Symposium. Great event held every year around November. Protea's been a sponsor, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 years for a long time. And I haven't been there in 3 years. And I was able to attend this year just because the way things fell, you know, it worked out. The timing was great. I got to attend, and what an incredible conference. Well laid out, well structured, session to session made sense, that built on each other. And I spent a ton of time just creating notes, using my buddy ChatGPT to take down all the information I could get. I was able to push out articles day one, day two, as well as provide an overall synopsis to our newsletter subscribers. All 500 of them received this email last week, which gave me lessons from the Wine Industry Symposium. And I gave 5 great pieces of advice that I want to share with you today on Protea Weekly. But I want to start here. This is a conference that's focused in on the numbers behind wineries. And what they did is they sort of set up where the industry was, what we can expect operationally, and then in day two rolled into strategy. And then they threw an economic update as well, which is really, really interesting. I still haven't really written anything, posted anything on it, because honestly, in the US, it's political party time. We just had an election. So a lot of it is very political, very touchy. I'm not sure I want to go there. So I'm not sure if I'll ever release my thoughts on it. A lot of great learnings. So maybe if you want to know about it, drop me a message and say, hey, I'd love to get your notes on the economic update that you received at the Wine Industry Financial Symposium, and I can send those over to you. Might be the best way to handle it. Maybe I can put something together for our newsletter. Maybe that's something I think about for this week. But generally speaking, on open platforms, I'm going to stay away from it. But let's focus in. 5 great lessons. And I think this is not just important for the wine industry, it's important for all business owners. And I think as accountants, we can take a lot of advice as well. So here it is. Number 1 was embrace a clear, focused vision. What they were talking about, and you heard it over and over and over, is that there's too many people out there that are just trying to be everything for everyone. And that's really difficult unless you have some sort of scale. So if you're a massive company, think big 4 firms, or even the tiers below it, they can focus in on multiple industries. They can focus in on multiple different types of customers. They can probably have a deep list of services. But for the general business owner, that is really, really tough. And the market for services, be it wine, be it accounting, is really, really tight, right? So it's very important For you to understand what is your vision for the business, what is your brand vision, who you're trying to serve, and how can you help them. If you focus in on that vision, it'll become a lot clearer for you where you should be spending your time. And time is limited, so you do want to be spending your time in the right place. Even at Proteo, we spent some time over the last couple of weeks updating our vision. The vision of Protea is to provide comprehensive bookkeeping, accounting, and advisory services as trusted partners, fostering long-term relationships built on communication and mutual respect. We are committed to understanding our clients' goals and supporting their success with tailored solutions. So we understand that we're focused in on the wine industry, broader alcohol beverage as it is, and we are going to give them the services they need to make better decisions from the accounting standpoint. Be very clear, be very focused, talk about your vision often, make sure your team understands it, and then head towards it. By having a more narrow, defined vision and focus, it allows you to deeply resonate with your target audience. I believe we're able to resonate with the wine industry because we talk their same language. We talk the wine industry language, and that creates loyalty, trust, and allows us to be successful. Number two, understand and connect to your customer. It's a tricky market out there because there are a vast majority of different generations of buying goods and services. Okay? If you're selling a product, that becomes even harder because there's more brands, more social media, more messaging out there ever. And people have really strong opinions on what they like, who they want to buy from, and what's important to them. So if you can understand, hey, this is the customer I'm looking for, this is what motivates and drives them, and then see if that aligns with your values, you can focus in on them, be authentic with them, and serve them better. Again, you want to be able to build a brand in a way that talks to those customers in an authentic, true, real way, that they listen to you and go, I trust this person, I want to work with this person, I want to be a part of their journey. That is the way you build strong relationships and you build customers that want to be around and be using your service for a very, very long time. Number three, and I think this is the biggest one. I might have heard this in every single presentation that came up, but be data driven. One of the points that I took away is numbers do not lie. Okay? Data is an invaluable tool in business making decisions. So straight away, boom, 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 get a good accounting team in place, right? Make sure you're getting the information in on time, be as accurate as possible, and then use that information. Trust the information. Set yourself goals and targets. And if the data is telling you you can't hit those goals or targets, then pivot or adjust or change. But you need to be able to stay agile, listen to the numbers, and make the necessary adjustments. We're in a market that is extremely crowded for services. Wineries, there's so many of them, selling very similar products. Accountants, very similar. So focus in on your numbers, look at the initiatives you're taking, and do they make sense? Is the return on investment there? Did that expense that I spent make sense from either a driving revenue standpoint, or developing relationship standpoint, or building a customer space standpoint? Make sure when you're spending money that there's a good reason to be spending that money. Listen to the information and make adjustments based on what the data is telling you. This is not the time to be ignoring the numbers. We're in tough markets and you need to entrust the information you have. And that does start by getting a good person in place. So remember, if you are selling a product, listen to your numbers. To get those good numbers, you need a really good accountant. So hire somebody with specialization and expertise that you need for your business. Then put them in a position to be successful and trust the information that's been provided to you. Use your numbers to build your business. Obviously, there's a little bit of passion. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of, I'm going to use my own intuition, or I feel like this is the right way to go. But don't forget to check that out and make sure the numbers make sense, either before you start or once you get going. And be agile and change if the numbers are telling you that it's not working. Number 4, and this is one that I think as a you know as a community we're not focusing enough on at the moment, is we need to start focusing in on customer experience. People want to feel that we care. People want to make sure that they're being prioritized, they've been heard, and that we actually want to help them. For a brand standpoint, people want to understand that you're listening to them, seeing their values, and catering towards it. As a service provider, people do want to know you caring. They don't just want a tax return. They don't just want a set of financials. They want somebody that they can trust and listen to for advice. In the market we're looking at the moment, more often than not, people want to work with people that care about people and put them as a priority in their business. And if we're selling a product or selling a service, people are important, and we do need to focus in on that customer experience. We need to get them in the door, make sure they feel loved, and make them stick around. If you're a winery, you need to be able to attract people. You need to be able to put things in place that will attract the right customer base for you, get them in the door, get them spending more money. So we have to listen to our customers or our potential customers, focus in on their vision, which I spoke about in number 1, and build an experience that they want, an experience that will keep them around because they feel like this is the right place for them and it's a good way for them to spend their well-earned dollar. Focus in on the customer experience. 5th point, which I thought was pretty interesting, this definitely came up in day 2 as well, a lot, was innovate and adapt. Agility and innovation is essential. The world around us is changing so rapidly. Part of that is that there's these new buyers, new consumers coming into the market all the time. And they're younger, and they are a different generation that grew up in a different world of technology and expect different things. Their priorities are different from your customer that, your priorities of your 20 something customer is very different from the priorities of your 60 something customer. In the world that we're living in, people have information at their fingertips, and they're not just finding it through Google. They're finding advice through ChatGPT. They're finding advice from friends and family. They're finding advice from social media and influencers. And we have to understand that because this information is coming in a different way, we have to adapt for the way that they're consuming information and provide them with sufficient information to at least consider us as an option for their, time and money. We all need to be able to adapt as much as possible. And it's probably going to mean we're going to have to, sort of, what's the right word? Challenge the norms, challenge the way we've always thought about things, maybe do things a little bit different. Understand that changes are going to come our way and we can't be scared of it. We have to move and adapt to be able to stay relevant. Because if we can't stay relevant, we're probably going to not exist. Be that a brand, be that somebody selling goods, be that somebody providing services. What people find important to them and what the world is putting pressure on us to do, especially if you're, like us, a remote firm that works in the digital world, we have to adjust and adapt all the time. We got to look at technology. We got to find ways to be more secure and safe. We got to find ways to communicate with clients on a mass basis so they get the information on a timely basis. Most importantly, we need to adapt to be able to make sure we're talking to them and their problems so that they feel like we're a trusted advisor and really making a difference. We have to be innovating and adapting and adjusting and changing. The market will adjust, innovate, and adjust and adapt around us. And if we don't do it, we will fall behind and we will see our businesses struggle. So if you are in business, I got 5 great lessons from the Wine Industry Financial Symposium. I believe these 5 lessons will help any business leader and help any, especially accounting businesses. And it's really simple. Number one, embrace a clear, focused vision. Push that vision forward all the time. Use that vision as your North Star on what you're going to do and what you're going to achieve. Number two, understand and connect with your customer. Be very clear and critical on who you're trying to serve with what services. Do not get stuck in the pitfall of being everything for everyone. Be data driven. Trust your numbers. Use those numbers to make good business decisions. Number 4, focus in on the customer experience. People want to feel loved. People want to feel connected. So make sure you're providing them with the experience that they're looking for. And number 5, innovate and adapt. The world is changing around us rapidly. And if you're not innovating and adapting, you are falling behind. So make sure you're focusing in on how you can best adjust to serve the people that you're trying to help. It's a tough world we're all working in at the moment, right? Sustainable growth in both wineries, accounting firms, business in general can be achieved. But you do need to focus in on making meaningful connections with your clients and providing them with the services and advice that they need to succeed. Wineries that I work with, it's been a tough year. But if you take in some of this advice and use it in building your plan towards 2025, I know you can be successful. If you're in the accounting industry, use these 5 pieces of advice, look at them and see, am I incorporating them into my business on a daily basis? Is this a part of what we're doing to make sure we're providing the best service to our customers? These are 5 exceptional pieces of advice, and I hope you take them to heart. I hope you at least consider them when you're setting up your goals for 2025. These are 5 great lessons, and they can help your business be successful. Here we are, another episode of Protea Weekly in the books. I've enjoyed speaking to you all today. Until next time, have a great day, be kind, goodbye.